Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with the round table of a bunch of drummers. I think most of these people hit things, right? We all kind of hit stuff.
We act like drummers,
So I guess I'm going to start to my left, and we'll go down and kind of introduce ourselves, because none of you know who we are. I don't know who we are either.
Oh, I don't know what she, I was going to say.
Oh, so I start, okay.
Yeah, you're on point now.
Now I'm on point. I'm Alan, I'm the drummer with Little Rising.
Alan who?
Bingham.
There you go. Bing. I'm Chris McKinney? Is that right? We slow the cue cards down. I'm having trouble reading them, so just slow it down a little bit. I play with a bunch of people that, you know,
You do? You
they
know,
actually,
5 bands?
they actually give me money. Man, that's crazy. Don't do that.
Pretty
You get
incredible.
money for playing?
Sometimes, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I get like quarters, nickels, a lot of silver
It's pretty
stuff.
incredible, bro.
Yeah, man.
Seen you play.
Yeah, I'm incredible at conning everybody out of their money. You're next.
Chip Behringer, 50 Flies, and side project called Smoking Chambers that we're bringing back to life.
Hell yes.
Yeah, man. Hopefully everybody digs that. Thank you. Early stages, man, but we're bringing that back out. So
Nice. Name's Richard Hudson. Made 2 projects. One is a Shrapnel cover, Shrapnel. It's a cover band, and an original metal project called Victims of the Depravity.
Derek Moore, drummer for Evil Eve. That's about it.
you can't say that's about it with a name like Evil Eve, dude.
You can't leave them hanging.
That's crazy. That's a badass name.
It is pretty chill.
Yeah, it's crazy. We'll have to talk about that maybe.
So this is, I guess, the first edition. Hopefully many more.
Sorry, I'm just trying to.
Yeah. First edition of that. Well, this is the first edition of the Drummers Consortium, sort of drummers round table here. And we just kind of, wanted to introduce ourselves, but we kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the things that are near and dear to our hearts, which we all have in common, which is the love for drums, drumming, drum equipment, just the whole nine, the art of it, the music, no matter what kind you like. Everybody's got their things, but we all agree that music is fantastic and drums is easily the best instrument, right?
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It's apparently it's the bacon of music.
It is the bacon. That's right. Bacon being the greatest dish ever created.
Yes.
Everybody agree? Everybody agree?
No arguments here.
What?
Bacon ain't the best, but drums are.
Well,
All right,
we agree on
I'll
something.
give you that one. I'll give you that one.
Bacon's pretty damn good,
It is. It is.
even as an addition. But that's for a cooking show. We'll talk about that later.
As a matter of fact, you have started a cooking show.
Easy. That's still in the planning stages.
You let the cat out of the bag there too, huh?
No. There's been some talk of that.
Been some
We
talk
got a
of
lot going on in my camp right now. As you might imagine. Anyway, where were we? Drums?
There's something about drums.
Drums, yeah.
Yeah. So
So,
Well, I can't believe I'm actually sitting here with myself. I've known all you guys for quite some time. I've shared stages with several of you guys
Yeah.
for quite some time.
yeah.
And to have you guys here, I mean, it's just like, wow, the least talented fucker is on the end. Edit that out. That'd be
no,
unbelievable.
I think you can say F1. You too.
Okay.
Did you mean this end?
I mean, this end.
Oh, okay.
Least talented one.
Like, hey, we had a fight last night, dude. I don't want another one tonight.
No, I will humbly say I am the least talented person sitting at this table.
I don't know. Wasn't he the one that just said a second ago that I am absolutely humbled to be sitting here with me?
There was a me in there
Yeah.
somewhere. I did hear a me.
I think you did say.
I just don't know
Yeah.
when.
Pretty sure.
I'm fairly certain that he said he was humbled to be sitting here with himself.
I am actually.
You know, I mean,
I mean, you gotta stop and think about it. I mean, I am a drummer, so therefore I am cool.
Yeah, but you ain't a vocalist. It ain't all
it's
about
natural.
you.
It's natural.
Point.
But
Love you, Terry.
I think what's cool, man, is you know, and my hero Morgan Rose. I watch a lot of YouTube. Watch a lot of everything that he says. I'll watch a lot of stuff, right, and listen to all his videos and stuff. And he was talking on one of them and said basically, and this to your point about, you know, what talent level you are, because as a drummer, and I'm sure with every instrument, you're never happy, right? I know that with my band. My guys are like, it's never the sound they want, or it's never they're never happy with what they're doing, or it's always a push. But I mean, I was watching one night, and Morgan said basically that, you know, when we put the band together that we have, which is Seven Dust, that, you know, he basically said we don't have the best musicians. It's not, we really don't have the best musicians in the world when we put it together, but it was more about our family. And he said, I can tell you one damn thing, if you can't be in a tour bus with these dudes from West Coast to East Coast or vice versa, if you can't get along together and all that other stuff, none of that talent matters.
Right.
But I guess my point being is sometimes, and for our band, I feel like this for sure. I feel like it's almost like the old Motley Crue, which that's my boys. It's almost like the old Motley Crue thing. It's like it's not about one or two particular people. It's about what happens when the four get together.
Right.
And
A
that's
band.
what you're saying, Alan. It's
Right.
like, hey, you know, I'm the least talented. Well, you know what? When you get behind your kid and your teammates pitch in, man, that's what people hear. It's not even about somebody's watching the drummer just to see how good you are, you know?
And, I mean, you've known me for a lot of years, and we've done, like I said, many shows together, and been to see each other's shows,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I try to, as best I can, to remain as humble as I can,
Yeah,
because
that's a good
there's
trait.
always somebody out there that can teach you something.
Oh, yeah.
And if you've ever noticed, if I'm at a show, you will find me gravitating somewhere to the side so I can watch the drummer.
Same.
I don't care.
I think we can all say that. It's
I
like,
don't care if the guy just started playing last week.
you're behind the mains and people are like,
Yeah.
you can't even hear the show. I'm like, I don't care.
I don't care. I'm wanting to see what he's doing. What can he teach me?
It doesn't
If I
matter
watch-
if it's a local show, a regional show, or a big professional show.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be somewhere where I can watch and see what this guy's doing, so I can learn.
Yeah.
You know, I don't, you know, I try to find inspiration from every one of them. And I'm going to encourage, whether they're, have been doing it for decades or have been doing it for a couple of months.
Yeah.
What can I do to help you? Tell me, what can I do to help you? And I'm the same way with the music part of it. You know, with any of you guys. Yeah, I enjoy getting out and play. Love to go out and play. But what can I do to help you?
And that's what's beautiful about it. And Michael, and she can tell you that that's what you were talking about, our management scene earlier, but that's what's helping drive that right now, man. Our scene is so strong because it's that kind of attitude. And if you've been in the scene for a while, you remember when it was bad.
Yeah.
It was cutthroat, man. It was,
Yeah.
no, but bands weren't out to help you. They were out to like outdo you and put a knife in you, and it
Use you
sucked,
to get
man.
to further their own
It
band
sucked.
name and everything.
But if you have that humble outlook, man, and you're willing to back other bands and help support them and promote them,
Yeah, I can't play the show, but hey, I know somebody that can.
yeah,
Or I can help you find somebody that can.
yeah.
And, you know, at the end of the day, we're all in this together.
Right.
I mean, so,
I'd like to jump in right there. One thing I want to say, especially with the Drummers Consortium, is like drummers are kind of the coolest community to me because I haven't met a drummer yet that isn't watching another drummer or isn't listening for this or talking about it with, it could be metal guys going to see jazz players or vice versa. None of that matters. Drummers are kind of a special community where, we love the drums so much, we don't care about the difference. We actually enjoy the differences. It's a good jump off for conversation, if nothing else. And we can always learn something that, we may not have delved into that this other cat is just has in spades, and you're like, how do you do that? I want to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
And drummers, even the ones with a little more ego than they need, and this is a conversation we were having earlier today, but ego's fine. You got to have some sense of ego or you're not going to be confident in your playing. So you want the confidence, but you get a certain amount of ego and then you start getting past what you need to play your best and to believe in yourself. That's when ego becomes a problem. And I haven't met too many super ego filled drummers. Usually we're all a pretty supportive bunch, regardless of differences.
I agree.
Agreed.
And I have to say that I don't know, I'm fairly certain it's probably the same for you all, but going back to the going and seeing drummers play live and all that, every time I go and I look and see what a drummer's doing, it always motivates me to like, what can I do to progress myself by watching what they're doing,
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I do that as soon as I get over like, wow, I'd have never thought to do that. That was really cool.
Perfect example. A few years ago, I had a shoulder injury, couldn't play a show. Richard was kind enough to step in and fill in so we wouldn't lose that show. And during his progression of learning the songs, of course he played them his way, his style, how he done them. Now, did I steal a couple of things from the way he played them?
Hey, you told me you were going to, which I was fine with.
If they sound eerily familiar, it's because, yeah, I took that shit.
Which we already knew, we already had the understanding.
Isn't that what we do anyway?
That's what we do regardless.
We're all rip-off artists,
Yeah.
whether we're stealing, from our favorite national guys
Exactly.
or
Right.
old recordings, like we've all learned from Neil Peart, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
But
Or
the
tried
thing
to
is,
learn.
tried to learn. Yeah. Here's that thing I still can't play, and it sounds like crap. But Neil did it one time, and it was much cooler.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're all rip-off artists, but you take it and you put it in your own little bag of tricks and all these other things you've ripped off, and you get enough of that together, and suddenly that's you.
Your own style.
It's become part of your identity.
Precisely.
It doesn't matter where you got it from; it's yours now.
Yep.
I want to discuss influences for a minute. I know we've touched on different ones and whatnot. I want to start down here on the end. Who is or are some of your biggest influences?
Growing up when I was a kid, I first started playing, it was Dave Lombardo, Slayer. My first band that I was in was a death metal band, picked up double bass, and pretty much anybody that was in the death metal field in the late 80s and early 90s was an influence on me. I come from a background of punk rock, so I kind of transferred into death metal because a guitar friend of mine played death metal, so I was like, hey, let's just jam.
Hey, let's do something.
So I started playing death metal. And Danny Carey, a big influence. I can't play like him at all, but
Not many can, man.
he's one amazing drummer. I got to see a drum, what do you call him?
Clinic.
Clinic, yeah. A drum clinic with Danny Carey in Kansas City one time, man.
In his
It's
hometown.
phenomenal.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
Freakish, man. Freakish dude.
Yeah,
Yes.
total octopus.
Yeah.
Mr. Hudson?
The main influence that got me into drumming, which I know we had a big laugh at earlier, was actually watching Lars Ulrich. Which, like I said, I know we had a big laugh about.
No, but
Yeah, I mean,
Well, back in the day, back in the
Back
80s,
in the
it
day,
was great.
it was
I'm
good.
going to pause you on that one for a second. And I'm sure you guys have seen being in drum groups and stuff like that. All these people are you know, hating on Lars and you know, giving him a lot of grief about he can't do this, he can't do that. I'm sorry. Dude's played toured the world how many times?
Yeah.
And you
That was
have
my
done-
point. He doesn't
plus
have to.
also, plus also,
Done man.
What?
plus also, he brought in a ton of new things for the rock and the metal community
Right.
as far as
For
drumming
sure.
goes. So, I'm not disrespecting him in any way.
I wouldn't, no, I understand
But
that,
he is
it's
the
just-
main reason that I even took up drums to begin with.
Can I get this out there real quick, since
Yeah.
we're talking about Lars? We all hate the St. Anger snare thing, so yeah, let's just go ahead and get that right out of the
I
room.
don't.
No
I
trash
don't.
can lid, there's a lot of hate.
There
So I'll
is a
put
lot
that
of
out
hate
there.
for it, but
But here's one thing I'm gonna say before everybody wants to
Mhm.
crash Lars Ulrich. Go back and watch the S&M live album. You know, watch those videos and watch. That was some of the most tasteful playing I've ever seen Lars do, and it was fantastic. And he had a whole orchestra behind him, and I was like, man, he's in his element now. I was like,
Yeah.
this is like polished Lars. I was like, man, more of that, dude. That was bad. That was bad to the bone.
The thing about it is, I know, and you know, as drummers, we pick up on the sounds of other drummers' kits and what goes on. Granted, the St. Anger snare has been a topic of conversation since it came out.
I literally was just
But-
trying to throw it real quick, and here's Alan back on it.
At the end of the day, aren't we all experimenting behind our kit, looking for different sounds, trying to do something?
Apparently you are.
For you, those YouTubers who have no idea what's the surroundings here, his kit's set up over here, and we'll show it later. And there's other videos. It's pretty massive going on, and he's got some cool stuff happening. But that's what he's alluding
Yeah,
to.
I'm sorry, I forgot you can't see, but
Just turn your head.
yeah, we're at the Rooster right now, and it's like in
yeah,
front
let's see
of,
how well that works.
it's in front of the stage where fans would be, and there'll be nowhere for fans to be.
I might edit a video in with this video so you can actually see what I'm talking about, and not just be a smarmy jerk.
You know,
But
at the end of the day, it won't fit on the stage.
Yeah, we had to set it up down here because it won't go on the riser.
Yeah.
But anyway, Alex Van Halen would be proud. I'm surprised he's not flying in tonight. But anyway,
But yeah,
Yeah.
Lars Ulrich was the main reason I got into drumming. And some of my more today kind of influence would be George Colas from Nile,
Yes.
Spencer Pruitt from Archspire, Tim Young, he used to be the drummer of Divine Heresy, he's now with Morbid Angel. And of course, the godfather himself of the blast beat, Pete Sandoval. Every single one of them have, just by watching videos and seeing them live, have tremendously changed my whole outlook on drumming. And then, of course, the professor himself, Neil Peart.
hats off.
for sure.
Mr. Barringer?
Well, I'm not nowhere near as technical as this guy, so I'm probably pretty boring. I mean, my first love was probably everybody knows I'm a big Motley fan, so Tommy Lee's the reason I picked up drumsticks. In 1981, I was way down the road before I ever picked up sticks, but he made me want to do it. And you know, it was about the huge kick drum and the spinning sticks and playing with the camera and the show and all that kind of stuff. You know,
Not only a drummer, he's a great entertainer.
yeah, it was, and I wanted to be that, man. I wanted to be that as far back as I can remember. And if you come to see us play,
You accomplished
yeah, well, thank you, man. But if you come to see us play, man, she was saying earlier, I mean, when she loves watching me, I mean, I literally turn into something else on stage. I don't know what happens.
We were here for the Christmas show here at the Rooster. Thank you to Michael Carpenter, by the way, for allowing us
Yeah,
to
Michael,
use
thank you for
this
everything,
place
brother.
to do this. But we were here for the Christmas show that Creative Music Management did. And I was standing right over there. I know you people can't see it, but if you look to your left, I'm pointing that way. And
They still
My
can't see
left?
you. They're just looking at us.
Kids, don't try this at home.
I stood there and watched you. I mean, I know you guys kept on, and it's a lot of phenomenal.
It was sad because it's so old when you knew music, but we're working on that.
No, that is, I mean, you guys are one of the top bands in the region. I didn't say in the area, I said in the region.
Thank you.
And I
man.
believe
I
that
don't
for
know
a while.
about that, but thank you.
But I stood over there and I watched you, and it just, I told you, because you were here with me.
I was
believe.
here.
And I said, just look at him. I said, dude is just having the greatest time of his life up there. I mean, you're just,
Yeah.
it's just
That's-
unbelievable.
It's really the only place, man, I'll be honest. It's the only place I really feel, I mean, dude, I feel great all the time. I've been blessed. I got a great life. But that's where I can truly be me. I'll let it all go right there. And it just, I don't know, man. But anyway, so thank you for the kind words.
I think we can all agree on that too, right?
Yeah.
Being behind a kit is pretty much the happy place.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can be somebody that you don't have to be every day.
Right,
And
your true self.
And there's also no pretending.
Unless you're playing Chip's kid in Myrtle Beach, and for those that don't know, Chip is like 8 foot tall, and he plays his times really, really high. So I used his kid as a show. at
but
Myrtle
slanted.
Beach. I used his kid as a show at Myrtle Beach, and I think I threw both of my shoulders out trying to do rolls on those confidence.
Well, I played yours one night and rimmed shit all night because we're flat. Every one of my rolls was like click, 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 click.
Man, that's a new move.
It was
That's a new
terrible.
move.
It was terrible.
That's the
And,
new drum fill now.
and I had,
No?
and that night I had COVID before people knew what COVID was. So,
Yeah, true.
but anyway, but the show went on, right? Right.
Hell yeah, it did.
But anyway, so yeah, Tommy Lee, man, is the reason I picked up the sticks, and to this day I love the dude, and so that moving on through, obviously, man, we've been talking about it since I've been here. Morgan Rose is that's probably where I spend most of my time, man. If I don't have anything to do, I'm at home, which is not often. I jump over to YouTube and just kind of go through his stuff and watch everything. I mean, his movements, the way he strikes, it is absolutely unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
He's an amazing human being. But so you know, and obviously the old guys like John Bonham, man, I watch a lot of his stuff, and nothing but respect with his roles and his everything that he does is crazy. But yeah, I mean, I would say my two biggest have been Tommy Lee and Morgan Rose.
You brought up John Bonham.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that feels like between John Bonham and Nico McBrain of Iron Maiden, they can do more with a single pedal than a lot of us
Yeah.
can do with a double?
Yeah.
When you were talking
yeah.
about slanting your toms, I was thinking in my head, I was like, Nico McBride.
No, not that bad. They're not
With a
but-
ride like this?
they're almost like Allen's, but the fronts are a little bit dropped down more, so I can get to the
Okay.
drum
I
head
got you.
without doing
But they're
this.
4 foot.
No, all the way up here.
They're not that high. He's exaggerating.
It was like
Okay,
upward
3.5
mounted
foot.
octavon.
So the tom is right at eye level.
It was for me.
Okay.
It was
That's
for
not
me.
right here.
It was for me.
Yeah, it's right at eye level.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't sit ergonomically correct. I sit like.
Yeah, you were low. I sat on yours
So-
tonight.
He's a little
That sounds weird. I sat on your throne.
Did you get
I'll
low
edit
with
that out.
it? Did you get low with it?
So I guess since we're at me, I got a wide range of guys and a huge amount of styles. I'll try to keep it brief.
Yeah, I boiled it way down.
Yeah, so we'll throw out some guys that haven't been mentioned yet. Big fan of Jimmy Chamberlain from the Smashing Pumpkins, bringing that jazz thing to rock and roll, and that constant foot chick, which I don't use, but his snare chops
Sick.
and just
Absolutely
yeah.
epic.
Jimmy did some really cool stuff I hadn't heard much. Man, there's so many to try. Boy, Neil, obviously, Neil Peart, major influence in a lot of different things, but drumming especially. But my guy right now that's probably closest to my heart is probably Gavin Harrison. Just when I first heard him, I was like, This guy sounds like me if I was way better. This guy's doing this stuff I tried to imagine in my head.
I look like this.
Yeah, and he looks better than me too. So it's like, and he's English, so it's like he's just got the whole thing going. And I'm like, you know, maybe in an alternate universe, maybe I'm kind of like this guy. So maybe he stepped in from there. So maybe he's me from another dimension. Or maybe he's just awesome, and I was like, yeah, I wish I was doing that. But yeah, Gavin Harrison for me all the way. I'm rolling with my dude until I'm done.
So now you're gonna throw it in my lap.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Okay. Well, if you see my kid and the footprint of my kid, it's very obvious. I molded this kid after Alex Van Halen's 2015 Ludwig Maple kit, which, in my opinion, and that's the only one that matters, is the most beautiful kit that's ever been built, that was ever put on a stage. It's not one of his more elaborate kits, but the chrome on it and the brass and just how it was laid out with those massive kick drums and 4 of them.
Yeah, we do have 4 kick
There
drums.
are 4.
There are 4
That is-
lights.
He's always been my major influence, no matter, from the beginning, it was Alex Van Halen.
No.
Yes.
That's a damn good one, bro.
But, and it's just something about the way that he plays and how he plays is,
That sound, man.
yeah, it's
You
just
know
that.
who it is.
Yeah.
You
You
know.
know who it is. And of course, Gavin Harrison, Porcupine Tree, love that band.
Yep.
Morgan Rose, obviously. So many other ones. Steve Smith from Journey.
Yeah, another huge influence.
Yeah. Stuart Copeland from the Police.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's got
Yeah, that guy's
sick.
insane.
He's got weird
It's
timing
just-
and shit.
I have never seen, and he might be classified as a drummer, but dude is an amazing percussionist.
Yeah.
Period. If you just watch him play at some of their more elaborate stage shows that they put on, what he's doing and the sounds he's doing and everything like that, it's just, and you're in awe of it. Or at
Or
least I am.
Oysterhead, you know, where he plays a lot of
Yeah,
percussion stuff.
exactly.
One of my favorites I didn't mention because I felt like I hate when people say who's your favorite drummer. And I'm like,
God, how long do you
There's
have?
so many that, so many to
but
say.
Nathan Followill for Kings of Leon.
Yeah.
He is friggin' sick, man.
You see, the one that right now I'm pulling the most from, or I'm trying to channel the most, whereas you have Gavin Harrison.
Yeah.
I'm trying to channel Kai Haito at Nightwish. Dude is an absolute beast, period. And it's just, I watch what he does, and it's great because he posts drum cams now from their shows.
Yeah.
And I can sit there for hours and just watch drum cams.
Yeah, it's great.
And go down that YouTube rabbit
Sit
hole.
on
I'm
the
not
couch.
holding back.
Sit on the couch, man. My
Yeah.
wife, she's such an angel, man. And she'll walk by and look at me, and she's like, she just hears drums all night. She's like, Jesus Christ, at least he's home. I know what he's doing. Watching some
sit
idiot
there,
play drums.
We sit there, and, you know, I hope I'm not the only one. If I'm not listening and studying a drummer, I'm looking at other drum kits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just because.
it's your porn. It's your
I
porn.
wonder if I
Man.
bought this one. Well, wait a minute, look at there. There's another one. I like
Well,
that.
you better find
It's
a
either
culprit.
drum kits or cymbals,
Right?
one of the two.
And it's cheaper to look at drums.
It is
Yes.
just
Yes.
Thankfully, I don't have to look too hard at symbols because I know where I'm going.
same. But that's just, you know, some of our influences. I'm gonna throw one out at you that, see how you guys do on this one. Because I know, again, it's all subjective, we're all different. Favorite snare sound, what song? One or two?
There's a rabbit hole.
How you like that? Because we know we can make the bass drums as loud as we want to make them.
Sure.
We can vibrate as much of the room as we want. But it seems that the snare is our signature sound.
Mm-hmm.
Every drummer has its own. What is your favorite snare sound? What song did it come from?
My snare. is my favorite snare sound.
Okay.
Not to be a jerk, but
You happen to have it with you? Now I'm intrigued.
none of them. Well, and it changes every night, but I tune it and play it. And I think a lot of people get the wrong idea. Oh, it's not just the snare drum and it's not just the head, it's the way you play it.
Yeah.
How much pressure you put, where you're hitting it.
For sure.
All of that stuff makes a huge difference. Chad Sexton is one of my drum guys that gets like no love, but that dude's insane. But he used to get a lot of critiques from people saying that he cranks his snare. So he put out a video and basically said, no, I don't crank my snare. I literally, for that 311 sound, I take the stick and I center shot it right at the bottom, right at the edge, so it gets that really high cracky pang. But he's like, then he hit the center shot on the snare, and it's average snare sound like anyone else. It's got
See,
body
Yeah,
and
it's the
depth.
combination of hitting the snare and the rim at the same time that
Right.
Chad Sexton
And the sticks he's
sound
using
comes from.
and how hard he does
and so you just taught me something, because although I don't have a favorite song for snare, I was going to say 311 is probably, when I think of a snare sound that's blown my mind since day one, that 311 snare, dude, is like,
And it's been so many different snares, but it sounds like Chad Sexton because of the way he's playing it.
if you
Beautiful
turn
disaster.
if you turn it on right now, I'll get
Beautiful
cold
disaster.
chills right off
Yeah.
the bat. Just when I hear that snare. That snare's sick, man. I love it.
Yep, but Jimmy Chamberlain is a lot the same way. I can listen to something Jimmy's on and have no idea what it is, pumpkins or otherwise, and in 2 seconds, hearing that foot chick and that snare is like, that's Jimmy.
Yeah.
Because it's his identity, it's the way he's playing, and I think really for a lot of you newer drummers, learn all the techniques, learn all the chops, always start with your timing first, because that's the key to building the whole thing.
And your paradiddles.
Yeah, as you get your basics down, then you can start working on the more advanced techniques, and I went the wrong way. I'm a naturalist, so I didn't have a drum teacher, and it probably took me a lot longer than most people.
Same here.
But I finally figured something out. But the main thing is that I think we're all looking for, and Jimmy did a clinic talking about this same thing, that we're all kind of looking for identity. And I think that's really what you should focus on after you get your basics down. Figure out what it is that you want to put out to people, your voice, what you want, and try to find something that's you. And you can steal from everybody else all the things you like. But once you get all that together, over time it's going to become you. And that's the key is, sound like you.
Agreed. Which is, for me, it's the snare sound of When It's Love by Van Halen.
That's you.
Yeah, there's just that, of all their catalog, and we know, obviously, the snare sound that Van Halen has.
Yeah.
Just for some reason, that one song right there.
Yeah.
It's just really,
I'm listening to it in my mind right now, but
It's- that is just like one of the greatest sounds I've ever heard.
yeah, their stuff is so clean anyway, man.
See, I was
Special
originally going to
brand.
say Chad Sexton 2 from 311.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We were all on the
But,
same page. It's like snare thrill.
Another one that you could very easily pick up just from the first hit of it, Chad Smith.
Yeah.
Red Hot Chili
Yeah,
Peppers.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
And,
No matter what he's playing.
and case
Yeah.
in point is the very beginning of Give It Away.
Yeah. Yep.
Dun-dun. Just that
Yeah.
double
Right.
right there at the very beginning. You
He's
already
He's
know.
such a fluid player.
Yes, he is.
He's having a blast.
Yeah,
Every
exactly.
single time.
Just like you.
Every single
Just like
time,
you.
dude. You can watch Chad sometimes and it's like a train off the track, but it's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
That's probably just like me too. I'm sure my band, when my band sees this, we're gonna be like, yeah, that's what we've been telling you, dude. We're just,
Like, finally, somebody else is telling you.
train wreck.
we're jumping on your back and we're just like hanging on.
A beautiful train wreck is a thing to strive for.
Here.
But yeah, Chad Smith was my second one besides Chad Sexton.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
you're all about the
Chad Sexton, especially on Beautiful Disaster. That
Honestly, that
snare,
whole
oh
album,
my God.
Transistor, I'm there. Like, put me on
It's-
Transistor and we're good.
It's crazy, man.
It's
you know, I don't even care if I sound like a perv. I get a fucking hard on every time I get every fucking time.
He's got good wood.
He's got great wood. He's got great wood. Damn it.
Hey, this first episode will be used a lot for like what we can and can't do.
Yeah.
So,
We're gonna set some parameters.
children under the age of maybe 16, 14, well, you guys are already here. Children under 12, you may want to get some parental supervision because there are no adults here.
Now that we're halfway in.
Disclaimer and midway through.
So we gotta put one of those warning labels on the video now.
No,
No.
you'll find out.
So if I were to get up and get myself a beer, would you have to cut that out too?
No, which one do you want?
Well, go right there.
Go get it.
Well, go get you one.
We'll wait. Chip is going to get a beer, so hang
I
tight.
know, big shocker. Chip's thirsty.
Chris
Yeah,
is
yeah.
going to drink more soda.
Yeah, just my apologies. I just have no filter. So I just say whatever's on my mind. Period.
She's
Thank
sneaking
you.
through here. You can't see her. We'll edit it out later. Wait, scratch that. Let's not do it. Production costs being what they are.
Yeah, we're not gonna edit that. It was just a beer.
Just a beer.
It's nothing
Here from
illegal.
under the table.
It's nothing illegal. It's almost
So where
being
were we?
Like being at the Rainbow.
Oh,
You guys like drums? Snare sounds. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
we
Well,
got somebody. who
yeah,
knows.
that's right.
I actually really enjoy my own snare sound.
There you go.
I bought a
So
Tama
did y'all
SLP black
talk
brass.
this out beforehand? You guys, we're gonna be different. I'm gonna say ours.
We're going to be.
I got
artsy.
somebody else. I got somebody else. Danny Carey. I mean, his
Sure.
snare sound is amazing. I like it when he throws his snares off and just plays, you know, the open drum with the toms. It sounds
He's one
incredible.
of the few that does that fairly consistently.
It's incredible.
Throws the wire off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or several of the snares he has the dual set, so he'll drop one strainer, so you get kind of that semi-open sound, but just enough snare to be there. But very cool. Yeah. Top five for me on snare sounds, or drum sounds in general.
Yeah.
Top 35. I'm just there's so many.
Top 35.
Like I said, how much time you guys got?
Yeah, right.
Okay, all right, here's your one. And I'm sure this is a question that a lot of people ask drummers. I've had it asked of me before. If you weren't playing the style that you're playing now, what would you want to do? I'm gonna go first.
I got, that's easy.
If I'm not doing what I'm doing now with my bandmates, I'm gonna do big band. I'm gonna do swing music.
Holy shit.
Holy shit, get you some of that. That's what I want to do.
Hey, as soon as the rooster has it, I'll get me some of it up in here.
That's what I want to do. There is if you've ever sat and listened to big band swing music, I mean, the drummer is the driving force in that.
I can't wait to see you in a tuxedo playing that shit.
Yeah.
With a big AB on the bass drum, and a
Right.
little line coming down.
See, that's a little bit, I don't know.
Come on, man.
Come on.
That's a
If
little
you're gonna
bit,
sell the dream, sell the whole dream.
Alan. That's a little bit.
Like Libby's.
That's a little bit.
Really?
It's a little bit.
How fucking
The A and
arrogant
B.
is that?
It's
That's a
it's
little
little
How fucking
bit.
arrogant is that? I've always found that to be arrogant.
Well,
So
you're
Alan
wrong.
Bingham, Alan Bingham on
Yes.
the bottom of your drum,
Yes.
it's not.
Yes.
I think it's still within the acceptable ego parameters, sir.
A.
I think it's egotistical as fuck.
Okay. So I should go get my name on my bass drum like right now. Okay, that's my next purchase.
Can, but
It's slightly douchebaggish.
thank you. Thank you for that.
If you guys don't
You
know
know,
who
you
the
ought to
hell I
hang a
am,
pair of
now
those
you know.
truck nuts from the
No,
line.
no. You know what's even funnier? When you're actually playing Alan Bingham's kit, and they come up and people come up to you after you play and like, "Hey, Alan, great show."
I know.
Wait a minute, I never get that.
I did that one time. I covered for you. I had people come up and
He's,
say, "Hey,
he's
Alan,
saying
good
nobody
job."
tells him great shit.
I never get that shit.
Yeah, you do. Don't even. Yes, you do. You get it more often than you even realize.
Can you play more often?
No, I said he gets it more often than he realizes.
Hey, none of y'all touching my damn drum kit.
And this is how the Drummers Consortium fell apart in the first episode. Alan just disowned the whole table.
Oh, no, yeah.
So to pull it back in the road, Southern rock for me, man, easily.
I can see that.
Southern rock,
I can see that.
yeah,
Because
big
it's,
time.
I mean, I've heard, like I said, I've seen many of your shows. I've heard all of your catalog. I can hear some of those influences in some of the little things that you do.
Well, it's kind of weird because we play rap rock and all kind of crazy stuff, but
As a
but it's
reminder,
still-
guys, we're all different.
Yes. But I can pick up on some of that in a couple of your songs.
yeah,
I mean, because
especially older stuff.
you have that little flair, that little, I'm like, oh, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah, I think we all, you mentioned jazz earlier, man. Jazz drummers always blew my mind. They're so talented, man.
we're sitting up here.
They're so friggin' talented.
Michael Carpenter, how you doing tonight, man?
Mike is in the house now,
Mike
guys.
is in the house.
Love you, man.
Michael brought in a jazz band up here one night, and we came up here to see the band. And as the show progressed, I was asked, "Can't you play like that?" I'm like, "I ain't got the fucking discipline for that." I don't.
Yeah, you can't be a big bat swinging Neanderthal. you got to actually have your sit down
Yeah,
for that
you
stuff.
gotta know what you're doing.
Danny Carey
I
swings
don't.
big bats. Have you
Yeah.
seen his sticks?
Yeah.
They're like freaking mini baseball
But I've
bats.
never seen him play jazz. I'm sure he can.
Look it up.
I'm sure he
Look
can.
it up.
Oh, he can. He can.
He's a jazz hound.
I'm not saying he can't.
If you listen to a lot of the stuff he writes, there's a lot of major jazz influence. in
Listen
it.
to his ride cymbal, even in a lot of the Tool songs.
Yep.
You're gonna hear that 6/8 swing
Oh,
coming
yeah,
in.
for sure, for sure.
Richard, what would you be doing if you wasn't playing what you're doing?
I would have to say jazz fusion.
Wow. My man.
Nice. Nice.
That would be the only thing. I mean, because you know me, I go from rock to extreme metal
Yeah.
already, and jazz is the foundation pretty much of all music. So, what's better than going back to basics?
No, I thought drums were the foundation of our music.
Sound argument. Sound argument.
I mean,
So the foundation of drumming, is jazz.
I mean, you know,
And jazz fusion.
if you wasn't
you
a
got
drummer, your band would suck.
some bands, yes.
How about you?
I honestly don't know.
I just quit music.
Probably.
Screw it.
Probably.
If I can't play this, I'm going home.
Probably right. I actually quit playing drums for a good while. I was in the military for a long time.
Oh,
I
that's
just
okay.
really didn't have the time to play. But I retired like back in 2012
Thank you for that.
and picked up the drums again and started jamming. And I also played bass at the same time. And I was playing bass in a classic rock cover band. I couldn't see myself playing classic rock as a drummer. My style of music and my taste has completely and totally shifted over the past 3 years. Completely and totally. I hate classic rock now. I can't stand to hear it. I cannot turn on the radio. I can't do it anymore.
I hadn't heard a regular radio in like,
Yeah, I just
What
can't
is
do it
that?
anymore.
Yeah, well, yeah,
wait a minute, I did. Oh, I can't say that because he'll be so pissed at me. But I did in somebody's car the other day.
I just got really tired of it, really down on it. I don't know. My whole style and my whole taste just completely morphed. I don't know what happened.
I get it because it's like the new rock, like on Octane,
Yeah,
that
it's
kind of
crap.
stuff. Well, here's the
I mean,
thing.
it's great. Those guys are doing great. They're great musicians.
Here's
or
the
whatever.
thing though, I
It's
said I would never like that kind of
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
And now I love that shit.
Isn't
I
that
call
like-
I call it drama rock though. It's
Drama
not.
rock, yeah.
That's what it's like though, man. Like Bring Me the Horizon, those kind of bands. I mean, I thought I would never like that shit, and I like it. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Since
Sorry,
you threw
sorry,
that-
but-
since
sorry,
you
but I
threw-
wanna
since
be
you
like
threw
one
that
of
out there. I want to go ahead and say I'm a huge fan of Ghost.
Hey, Ghost is,
Yeah,
it's
Ghost
just-
is good.
it's different. Yeah.
It is. It is.
But I think that's what's happening. I like, this latest one, everybody here on Octane like Sleep Token. Well, if you guys heard
I'm
this
getting into
band,
them. I'm really
Dude.
getting into them.
dude, one of their songs is like, it's almost like an R&B song. It gets heavy and then it goes R&B and I'm like, this is on Octane, man. Shit's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, it's just like nowadays, the new country is really actually pop.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not actual
Yeah.
country.
There's,
mean-
there's, the country has changed dramatically
Yes,
over the last decade.
Yep.
very much.
Speaking of that, since they skipped me on our last question,
We didn't skip
No,
you. You.
the
you
reason
backed
wh-
You were
out
coming
and
back to
threw
that.
the reason why they skipped me is I've already done it. I've already done it. What I mean is, I play everything. So, what am I going to do after I do what I'm doing? Well, I've already done it.
Yeah, that's right.
Still doing it.
'Cause you
I'll
have
go
s-
back around again.
Because you have so many bands. How many is it, really?
He's got one for every day that ends in Y.
About 7?
How many days in and what now? What's past 4? I have trouble counting past 4 as a drummer. Anybody have that?
I mean, I need to come watch you play, but I just don't know where and when to come. Which one should I come to?
I have to keep a website with all the, because I don't know either, dude. I can't keep up. Just whoever pays me to come that day, that's what I play that day. So that hour even. It's like
We might should catch like a triple header one day. It's like, hey, I'm here
Be
at
like
10, I'm here
like
at
a
10.
mini tour.
he's joking about it. I'm living this.
Just don't ever tell him he has 5 shows in one day, because he can't count this 4.
Yeah, it's just what
Yeah,
is
good
what
point,
is that?
good point.
What- didn't I already do it?
Case in point, like 2 years ago, when we played Myrtle Beach,
Yeah.
Chris played a show with his band, finished that show, drove to Myrtle Beach, run sound for us that night, and then drove back home from Myrtle Beach.
And went straight to the church, slept on the couch in the church, slept for about an hour and a half, woke up when their sound guy came in, and then I played 3 services there.
You needed to go to church after that night in Myrtle Beach.
That was a come to Jesus moment. I was like, what the hell am I doing?
We were
With my life.
we were playing a show in an old brothel during the peak of COVID. It was a scary weekend, but we had a blast.
Oh, hallelujah.
And that
Well,
place
it
was
was-
a concrete
Oh my God!
hallway, essentially.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But you know what, I'll play again there tomorrow night if I could.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I think that's another thing about drummers is we're all nuts. Like
Well-
we've all lost our stuff. So
Yeah,
You have to be crazy in some form in order to play drums.
it's almost like playing linebacker in football.
Yeah. Or quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, we're a different breed for sure. I mean, we hit shit with sticks.
what's not to love?
Exactly. It's just, it's fun. No matter how much time we have to put in on a song. Speaking of, have you guys, any of you guys, ever run into this? You and I discussed this. The song that my band just came out with, Dear Love, a previous member had worked the guitar parts for it. So I am literally in the studio, in the drum booth, trying to lay down the drum tracks for this song. And I have him in the drum booth with me, trying to tell me how to play the damn drums.
I've been there.
No.
Really?
I've been there.
That is,
I have a question, fellas.
Michael has a question.
What you just described, is that why every band is looking for a drummer? Every band is looking for a drummer, always looking for a drummer. Is that why?
everybody wants to be, and I'll be the asshole. I'll be
We're
the
going to shift
asshole.
to another conversation now.
It's a touchy subject you just raised there.
Here we go.
Everybody,
I've never had that problem.
I haven't either, but But
No.
If you think about it, most people want to play guitar. Most people want to, and I'm not, dude, not throwing off on you whatsoever, bro. No.
We still need guitar
We
players.
still
Most,
need guitar
most of my
players.
guys stay away from me because they know I'm gonna get pissed off sooner or later.
We need guitar players. Okay, y'all fill in the spaces we can.
Well,
Well, yeah. I mean,
I think I have my answer.
but I mean,
I've got 5 toms, so.
I have 4.
And you've got octobons. You've got notes. He's got lots of notes.
You like my octagons,
I do like them.
don't you?
I'm gonna take them home.
Everything's for sale.
Well, apparently,
Isn't that life? Everything's for sale.
apparently that's going in a closet. I don't think Sherry knows that yet, because
I think the
It's not
octobons
going.
will stay.
It's no, actually.
are you gonna get like a used storage just for that damn thing?
I'm gonna need a secure facility. You know, like a warehouse somewhere.
Alan's gonna end up with a kid that's just gonna be a kid, 1 floor tall, and 1 rag. And then it'll be like, now you're ready to play a show in the Charlotte area.
If you ever see me with that setup, just shoot me.
That's the
You're way
problem.
too smart for that shit.
He and I are having this conversation. I don't know which show we were at, and I can't remember if you were playing or if I was playing or whatever. And you look at me, you're like, why?
I told him I hated him at one show. I was like, I fucking hate you, man.
Why?
Because I had to help him tear it down. I was like, I hate you.
Why do you have to have this kid this big? Everybody else is going small.
dude, I've questioned you about that many times myself. Like, dude, why do you need all that?
I didn't want to just walk off and leave you. Like,
It's not a matter of need as much as it is want.
yeah, I hear you.
I'm gonna jump in right there on that, because this is a question I've gotten and a lot of drummers that I've talked to. We all kind of, anybody that has more than a 4-piece kit with 1 crash gets kind of this, why do you need all that?
Oh, we're going down the gear road.
Well, the consortium, we do it all. We cover the whole thing. But again, it comes back to identity. That, you know,
Sure.
your drum kit is an extension of you, and it's not just like for Alan, the visual look. That's a part of that Alex Van Halen thing
yeah, man.
that gravitated him in the first place. So that's part of Alan's drumming identity is, you know, it's not just about the sound itself, though you want to have options.
Right.
So for me, I don't have an Allen kit. I have an almost Allen kit, and
But
I'm working on it.
the
But
thing about it is, I mean, those of us that have the elaborate kits, I mean, wouldn't you want to see that on stage? If you were a fan?
absolutely,
Oh, yeah,
You
dude.
see that,
That's
you
a,
see
that's
the
a,
videos,
that's an
you
all
wanna
factor
see
for
that,
sure.
You know,
And especially if you're into drums, dude.
Yes.
That's like I said, I don't want to keep using this term, but I know it's on video, but that's like porn. That's like drum porn,
Right.
You,
Yeah.
When I walk in the Rooster, I walk in the door and I see that thing sitting there. I'm like, oh shit! I'm gonna find some way. Now I know Michael don't care if I go on stage here, but if I'm somewhere else, I'm still gonna make my way like until they say get the fuck off stage. I'm still gonna be on there looking at everything and say, what are you? Damn, what kind of pedals you got? I mean, that's just what I do.
And see, that's the cool thing about drummers, most of us, and I use the term most of us because I don't know every drummer in the area.
Sure.
But I'm gonna get to know every drummer in the area, right?
we're gonna try.
We're gonna try.
Do our level best.
That's
Exactly.
That's cool.
If you ask to see our kid, if you wanna talk to us about our kid, if you wanna sit down behind our kid, chances are, we're gonna let you.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
You
You
know.
can't hurt them.
Yeah, you're not gonna hurt them, you're not gonna treat them like we treat them, and
Dude,
believe me,
it's-
as much as we have invested in them, we beat the fuck out of these things. So,
As stated earlier in the mid-video disclaimer, children under 12, hide your effing ears. This is gonna get raunchy. I mean, it's already raunchy. What were we talking about earlier? Yeah, just
Are you doing the editing on this thing? You're going
what
to have a lot of work
editing?
to do.
We're going live, son.
All right. But all I would say to that is, it's funny, man. Sometimes, like we played a show in Winston-Salem in that little place we're talking about, and I love the guys that you know that put it on and all that. But they're like, it was funny. They're like, drummers were using my kit just bring your pedals and your cymbals. And I'm thinking, my cymbals, if it was my kid, I'd be like, bring the drummers, knock it out, boys. You're not gonna hurt them.
Yeah,
That's professional gear. That's what we use, dude.
exactly.
If
It's
you're,
made to be hit.
if you're worried about your cymbals, you're probably buying the wrong shit.
Agreed.
That's all I'll say.
And if you're worried about your kid itself, then you haven't taken care of it the way you should.
Exactly. But I mean, but I get it. If something cracks and it turns into a money thing, and who did it, and cymbals, dude. I mean, cymbals are expensive as hell.
I've got two being remade right now at Saluda, so.
So I get why, but I mean, if somebody's just if they want to sit down and they want to mess with your kid, that's how I feel. Andy wanted to play mine the other night, and I said, dude, pull the cover off of it and knock it out. You can't do anything to that.
Exactly.
The G-Ride's been through hell, man.
Won't do any worse to it than we do.
Yeah.
I mean, you see some drummers, now, I will say that I've let some drummers use my kit, and I never felt so sorry for my drums.
I'm sorry.
This is why you bring the B kit.
No, I've seen you play my kit.
I played the rims all
You
night.
did, you beat the hell out of the ribs. I mean, there was like shrapnel flying and wood chips.
I was trying to get this top
We could have built
like
a-
angled down, and it was time to go, and I couldn't get everything angled.
Dude, I've heard of
Because he
shredding.
plays everything straight up. I'm like, this sucks.
We could have built a hell of a bonfire with all the wood you threw out there on the stage that night.
All them wood chips.
So is that what they mean by shredding when they're talking about drums?
But
Gotcha.
But
I
I've
made
had-
toothpicks.
I've had some drummers that, like I said, they've used my kit, and I truly felt sorry for my drum kit. Because as heavy hitting as I think I am,
Yeah.
I'm playing jazz notes compared to the way these boys do. I mean, brutal. I actually apologized to my drum kit a couple times.
So where were we about 4 tangents ago?
Gear up.
Yeah.
Blaming Michael for this shift. He got us on a tangent that got us on a tangent that got us on a tangent, and there was a divergence from that tangent.
And I'm the only one drinking, so I don't know what y'all's problems are.
We're drummers.
Speaking of, how do you hydrate before a show and during a show?
Well, if you know me,
And I
and you
do.
should know this by now,
I do.
I never drink before I play.
Agreed.
And so a lot of water, a lot of Gatorade, no man, we take it serious. I mean,
So you're a professional.
yeah, we do, my guys are too, but they can have 1 or 2 cocktails and still perform like they're supposed to, right? But I can't, it throws everything off, my
For me,
time.
it's like a job, so I
Yeah,
can't drink
well,
on the
yeah,
job,
man.
so I can perform at my best.
Well, we were talking about that, right? Me and Richard earlier. It's like, I don't care if people pay $2 to come into this place to see us, man. We're going to give it all we got.
Right.
They paid their money to come see it. It's Michael's establishment, man. They're coming here to see a show. And that's what's going to go down. When we're up there, we're throwing all we got at you.
Right.
And it's not going to be alcohol induced. And now, when we get everything done and we pack the trailer up and all that,
Different story.
Different story.
we're coming back right here.
Believe me.
You're gonna see us right here, and all of our fans are gonna be right here, and our friends. So. But yeah, man, I never could do it. I don't see how people do it.
Nor do I. I mean,
I don't either.
there's a
Especially
reason-
as a drummer, man, because you're keeping the time and you're
Well-
trying to keep everything straight.
Well, the thing is also is that there's no way around it. Being a drummer and performing on a stage is just like being an athlete.
It's-
You need to make sure you stay properly hydrated and that you
For
have
sure,
the
man.
sufficient energy before you get on that stage to be able to go through your entire set.
And I've done the stupid things like hung out too late the night before and partied and all that, and then expect myself to perform at that level the next day, and it's like, yeah, you don't. You just don't.
You're extremely sluggish, and
Yeah.
next thing you know, you start missing drum fills and snare hits.
It's not worth it, man.
When I was a younger man, I remember one particular show, and I used to do nothing but drink this stuff all the time. I didn't even touch water. Like, just, it was all this all the time. There was no water. Like, I'd be like, water, isn't that what you put in the toilet? It's like, but there was one gig.
What he's saying is he wasn't too good on showers at the time.
Yeah, this was my shower. But I was at a 3-hour gig, and we were in our second set, and I was playing covers, but this was like more up-tempo stuff, really involved, and of course, me being me, I'm gonna overplay the hell out of it. So by the second hour we're into this, I didn't know at the time I was really dehydrated, and I'm just not feeling good. All of a sudden, my entire right leg, which is my primary bass drum leg, locks up.
There you go.
I got the giant L and I can't move, and we're in mid-song, so thankfully I had the double pedals out, so
With your left foot.
I was doing all I can with that not developed left foot at the time, and I'm trying to get through this song, hitting one quarter note like for every 2 bars, I'm getting like one kick in. It's all I could manage, being a drummer that can't count past 4.
The last 2 things we talked about, gear and then what you just mentioned.
So yeah, hydrate. You have to drink water. You got to take care of yourself. You're human beings, like you said. You're doing an athletic thing. Even though you're sitting down, most of us are working pretty hard. Some of you guys can really get by, and I try to weasel my way now by barely moving my body and just trying to keep it just slight movements of the arm, just so I don't reveal how terrible I am.
That adrenaline kicks in. We're gone. I can't do anything for you after that. Once we start, I'm just into it. We're going.
Yeah, but after that adrenaline comes down,
Yeah.
feel
But
Hydrate.
you were
4 or
talking
5 in,
about
man,
gear
you start.
and
your body starts like,
that
okay.
happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was a few years ago. We were in another project. We were playing I can't remember if it was an open mic night or something. They were like, "Oh, just use the house kit."
Oh God.
What? Don't you prefer a house kit over your own kit?
Of course, because my identity is whatever they want it to be at the time,
Exactly.
especially with no heads and no cymbals, no drums, duct tape hi-hats, yeah,
Dead heads.
So we're like
pearl hi-hats,
in the
One.
second song.
one pearl hi-hat.
We're in the second song, and the bass drum pedal broke. I didn't plan it through the head. It just broke. The chain snapped. I was like, oh shit. What do I? Luckily, it was a double pedal, and like you, my left leg not being what it was, I was suddenly playing with an open hi hat.
Yeah,
We're trying to keep the bass drum going, and I'm thinking, God, this can't end quick enough.
the struggle is real.
Yeah. So that's another thing. Take care of your damn gear.
Yeah,
You see,
maintenance.
And also something else for all you new drummers out there. Try to do a little bit of exercising with your left,
exactly.
independent
work-
from
work
your
the
right,
facility.
just in case you get into a situation like these two did.
Yeah. But always
Tweedledee and Tweedledummer.
always play the house kit when you get the opportunity.
It's so fun. It's so
You will
good.
learn stuff about your drumming you never knew.
It's an experience we all need to have.
Mhm. And then once you have it, don't ever do it again. Keep a kit in the car if you got to.
If you see me play, you always see me playing in shorts. Hey, you never see me. I don't care if it's 20 degrees. You'll see me in shorts because we were playing a show one night at Amos's and I had on like those Adidas pants, the long sweat pants.
Yeah.
And my
Years
beat,
you caught up on it?
my beater got caught. The beaters got caught inside of my damn pants.
My fix for that is I would
So I
tuck
was
it in my
kicking
sock.
I was kicking the hell out of the damn thing, and nothing was happening. And the guys were playing guitar. They turned around looking at me, and I was back there like I was fighting Yellow Jackets. I couldn't get the beaters out of my damn pants.
So you got to pull that again and we'll call you the Tourette drummer.
Both of the damn beaters were inside of my pants. So when I'm trying to hit them, they were just like pulling my pants forward. I was like, what the hell?
I used to love long pants, so I would like tuck mine in my sock when I went to play. It was the only way to get by, without actually coming in shorts like you say.
It
I
didn't
don't have
happen.
that as much now, but
It didn't happen at a show, but it happened at rehearsal when I forgot to bring a change of clothes. I'm still wearing my work clothes at rehearsal. And my damn beater got caught in my pants. So I'm like, all of a sudden, I got my pants pulled up around my damn knees. Don't get my beater stuck again.
Then I had an old shitty kid.
he is saying beater, by the way,
As opposed to,
not Peter. His beater was stuck in his pants. Beater was stuck in his pants.
When we first started, man, we first started our band, we were a three-piece because we didn't know what the hell we were doing, and it was me and Justin and Brandon, and we first started in my
Michael's still
garage.
dying back there.
I went and got my first kid. It was a Tama. It was bad as hell, I thought, and it wasn't much to it. So we decided we're going to start off with we had our own stuff we were trying to do, and then we said, let's do this Motley Crue cover, and it was a Knock 'em Dead Kid, if you know that song. And it was like heavy drums and all that shit. So one night we're on it, we're trying to get it going, and man, come out the gate just like kicking ass. And I had I don't even think I had a double pedal yet. It was like a single pedal. It was some shitty brand with a little big cotton beaters on it, It was about that big around. And we were kicking ass on it, we thought. And the kick just totally goes away. And I'm just playing my ass off. And Justin and Richie turn around and look at me, and it was like, what the fuck, man? It sucks, we were doing good. The beater flew out of the damn pedal. I was still playing, and there was no beater on the pedal.
I've had that happen
The
with
beater
secret
was
pedals.
so heavy it wouldn't stay in the damn pedal, man. I had to Loctite it on the damn
All right,
pedal.
I got one for everybody. Very first drum kit you ever owned.
Pearl, export, black, 5-piece.
I had a Ludwig 4-piece secondhand kit when I was 7. Unless you count the Smurf drum kit when I was 1.5, which
Oh,
I'm going to
nice.
show a picture of later.
Sweet. White Tama, and I want to say it was a 4-piece, but was there a Star Classic or
Yes.
something like that?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was, dude. And it was like an off-white. I wish I would have kept it. My wife she's still not happy that I let it go, but it was just a sweet little kit, man. You want to keep your first one. I wish I would have kept it.
I want to keep all
Okay.
the kits I've had.
Before we keep moving on with this, I'm gonna shock you. Now, the music that I play now, I grew up in the 80s playing that other stuff like that. Would you believe I sold that kit to a church? I was playing the devil's music and sold that kit to a church.
That's all right. Give
Apparently
him
the
a
kid
pen.
needed to be saved.
Give him a pen.
Obviously it was forgiven.
Yeah.
And you got into the church.
You?
CB700, real piece of shit. Tom's falling down while you're playing.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
This is a great time to mention for all you new drummers that may have gear that's not on that top shelf level, it's not the equipment, it's the drummer. But good equipment really helps the drummer more easily play better. But if you don't have the best, don't let that stop you.
No.
Because
Don't let it stop
I've
you.
seen people play on crappy kits and do amazing things. So never let that stop you. But nice gear, or even like decent gear, will help you in your art
For sure.
express better.
Sure.
So, elevate when you can, but don't look down on what you got.
Yeah.
Because if
That's
you
it.
can
We all
get
started
yourself
somewhere.
out.
And also another thing, don't worry about in the very beginning, don't worry about quality as much as quantity.
Yeah, get a big kid.
No, that's not what I'm
Get
saying.
a freaking huge.
What I'm saying
You
is,
said quantity.
yes, what I'm
Yes.
saying
Get a
is
big kit.
in the very beginning, normally new kits, they don't even come with symbols and all that.
Yeah, no.
So like, say if you go
don't get
like
shit.
to a store or like a pawn shop or something and you see a symbol in there that's cracked, who cares? Get it. It'll expand your horizons on the drum kit, which will help you in the long run.
Right.
So like I said, in the beginning, don't worry about quality as much as quantity.
Yeah, get what you need.
Yes.
Then you can upgrade later.
First drum kit I ever owned was a 5-piece Ludwig accent wine red,
Nice.
New or
Sounds
used?
beautiful.
brand new, and
Right
I
on.
was 7 years old.
I didn't get my first new
Nice.
kit till I was 14.
You still have it?
Yes, I do. And like, it's a funny story because I had never picked up a drum kit and drumstick in my life, but I would always hit like the trash cans and stuff whenever I heard music on.
People
And
think that's funny, that,
it
but we actually, a lot of us, that's exactly how we
Yep.
started out.
I was in the
With
kitchen
that.
floor on
So
pots
we
and
were-
pans, man.
Something like
Well, it
that.
was simple for me. I came home one day as a kid and said, Dad, I want a drum set. And he was like, hell no. And I was like, all right.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
were
my dad
going
wasn't
to a,
trying to, my dad was retired Navy dude. He wasn't trying to hear no drums in his house.
And
Well,
see,
see, I had
see,
my
that's the
own
thing.
one.
My father was too, but we were going to a music store to pick up my brother's guitar, and my dad's just like, Richard, get on that drum kit and play something. I'm like, well, what? He's like, go play For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica. I'm like, okay. So I just put my earphones on, start playing the song, close my eyes, and I start playing. And when I came to after the song was over, my dad has the salesman in front of the set saying, I want everything here right now.
You're a badass, man. I've seen you play before, so you
I
can do
appreciate
it.
that, but I've got a long way to go.
Nah, you're good, man.
I've got a long way to go.
We talked about this earlier, way before the cameras were rolling and before the kit was even set up. But most of us have this kind of thing of sort of being in a forever student mentality. No one here is thinking, oh, well, we've reached the top now. We're
No
done.
such thing.
There is no such thing. And that's, I think, why a lot of drummers like to go see other drummers is like, 'cause there's always something, even a new drummer, you can pick up on something with a new drummer and be like, huh, wonder why they're doing that.
Yeah.
I would have never thought to do that. That's kind of interesting. Even if it's, not, and then you go see pros and stuff or even other local guys. And we're so different, all of us. We can all play the same beat and it can be totally different, even though it's the same beat, just different pressures, different emphasis. We're hitting above or before the beat, or just so many variables. And most of us, we listen and take that in and be like, oh man, appreciate the differences.
Listen,
Yeah,
like
the other
earlier, when he filled in for me, when I was injured,
Right.
his take on the songs was different than what my take was.
Yeah,
He kept it where it needed to be for the other band members, but he also added his signature to
Yeah,
it.
sure.
right.
And when I heard it, I was like, I'm taking that.
Well, to your point, I mean, I was watching some stuff on TV one night, and they were talking to GNR, right? And when that whole thing blew up back in the day, and Adler left, and I forget who was talking, whether it was Duff or who it was, but one of them said, when Adler left, we had a great drummer, right, come in, and they always had him, but the music wasn't the same. And it's the same song, but he said Adler just played with the style. And this was him talking. This is not me. It's just like, but we know what he's talking about. All of us could play the same song, but
There's
every
gonna be
one of
little
our,
players
yeah,
that are
right.
gonna set us
Every
apart.
one of us are going to play it different, and that's what he said. He said we could never. He almost had like a soul to himself, like the way he struck the toms and the way he played, and that style was gone from us.
Right,
Well,
like
like,
it comes back to identity once again,
Yeah.
Like I think it was like 6 or 7 months ago, after I went and recorded the drums for the single for VOD, I had posted it on Facebook, and Jordan Valera of Blessed Decay, also known as Heaven's Hammer now, he had put something on there that says, Richard, you could never play like I do, and I could never play like you, because you have your own way of playing the drum kit, just like
Yeah,
I do.
sure.
And that's
that
why
is
we like
what-
listening to each other.
Yes, and that is what is going to individuate every drummer from each other. Everybody has their own unique style that they develop over time. And so trying to compare what you do to what I do isn't going to get you anywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
Think of it more as, what can I learn
Yeah, what can you pick up
Yes.
from him? What can you, and that's what I try to, through the YouTubes or through live shows, and like we're talking about, man, and more times than not, in here you'll see me, I'll gravitate towards around there and I'll be watching from the side because I'm,
Yep.
like us, we're trying to watch the drummer, man, and
Exactly.
you
What-
pick up,
what else could I pick up from this guy? Okay, I see he's doing
Yeah,
that.
right.
Why?
right?
Ah,
You try to remember, but you're trying to remember somebody's muscle memory or just, you know.
there's
it
a
is what it
certain
is.
way that they hit a cymbal in order to come back quickly to the hi-hat.
Yeah.
Something as small as that can easily become beneficial for any drum.
Sure.
Even just something as small as a placement of where they have their foot on the footboard for the bass drum pedal.
Yeah, yeah. It all matters.
It's the small things that can make a huge difference.
It does.
So,
Amen. Preach, Reverend.
Yeah.
Alan, what you got? Yeah?
Right?
Yeah. This has been a lot of fun. It really has. I appreciate every one of y'all's time, every one of y'all's, wanting to be a part of this as we move forward, helping us to grow it. Because even though it's about the drummers, people still want to find out about the different elements of the bands. And by talking about the bands or whatnot, come to the show, see you. And that's the one thing I preach and have preached, and you've heard me say this, Michael. People need to get out to shows.
yeah.
You have no clue the level of talent. Not talking about myself. These guys, yes, not me, I'm not in that group. That is out there in your local scene. It doesn't matter if it's country, if it's rock, if it's deathcore, metalcore, whatever. These guys have taken their art and they have elevated it, and they're phenomenal musicians. So get out and see these guys. Go to shows, support the venues that have shows. Because one tagline I've always used, without the bands, and every band started out local, you end up with a DJ, and yeah, fuck that.
There's something that
Eloquently put.
Thank you.
There's something that I kind of, a saying that I have. You can go see any bands you want, but at the end of the day, you're going to find out what a drummer's true personality is when they're on that stage on that kit. You're going to find out who they truly are.
Yep.
On that stage
Wow,
behind their
I'm really
drum
that
kit.
guy.
No
Well,
matter who, I'm just saying, no matter who they are, their true self comes out on the drum.
Well, and that ties back to something way earlier in our conversation when we all agreed that happiest place for us is behind a drum kit. Because, and you remember what we said and why that is, we get to be ourselves. We get to be who we really are.
Or maybe who you want to be.
Well, well, who you become starts with who do I want to be, and then you get to who
For
I
an hour
am.
at a time.
Or 3 in my case.
And every time
Just
I
not
think,
4, right?
Just not 4.
It's not four, 'cause you
Because then I can't count anymore.
every time I think I'm gonna let it go, man, I'm like, what
How can you let go of who you are?
what am I gonna do? And then, but what squashed all that talk is a couple years I thought I was gonna hang it up, and my wife, for those of you guys that don't know her, she's about 5 foot tall and I don't know, 110 pounds. We're like Mutt and Jeff, but anyway, I was talking about it one night and she looked at me because she's grown in the scene, right? She loves the lifestyle. She loves to come here and talk to everybody and hug everybody and, hey, hadn't seen you, and everybody knows her, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, I was telling her one night, I said, I'm getting older and I think this shit's kicking my ass, man. I might hang it up and all that. And she looked at me and said, you'll quit when I tell you you're going to quit.
That's a good woman.
I said, well, guess I'm in
That's
it
a
for a little
domineering
bit.
woman, but that's a good woman.
You see, I tried.
So I joined another band.
There you go.
For a while there, I also did the same thing as him. I took off time from playing. Of course, it wasn't because of the military, but
Sadly,
I just noticed,
unfortunately.
I just noticed that after like a few weeks, I started getting really depressed.
Exactly, man.
Started
That's the
getting
worry.
kind of, I'll be blunt, I started getting suicidal, you know,
Sucks.
and that was the thing. It's just like, you know what?
Get music back, man.
I have to be on
Get it back.
Well,
How do you turn off who you are?
Precisely.
At the end of the day, music, I've said this before, is a time machine. It can take you to any moment in time. A song can take you to any moment in time, good, bad, and different, whatever. But music also resonates within everybody.
Yep.
So,
Well, let's face it, dude. Let's look at reality. Me and you wouldn't be like we are
no,
without music.
exactly.
I mean, me and Sherry worked together, but Sherry left the company.
Yeah,
So that would have probably been us. We would have never talked.
right.
We wouldn't. I wouldn't be talking to this guy, probably.
Yeah.
Well,
You'd have seen my face and ran. Like,
I mean, no, seriously. I met you.
Same.
We met tonight, right? Me and
Yep.
you and this guy. Hell, it's how we met years ago, right? Through talking about the podcast. I mean, that's just it's what us too. It's what our whole family is about. I mean, dude, we got so much family through music.
Yep.
I mean, and when it all comes down to it, and we've seen it in this family and in this scene, when somebody needs something, man, it's like, phew, that's what happens. I mean, a Christmas show, man, that was just, I don't think any of us will ever get over that. I mean, that was just,
It was a good night.
it was unbelievable what we were able to do, man, for the good of people, you know, kids and stuff. It was great.
I'm gonna do something totally off base here. I'm gonna bring Michael Carpenter in. Yes, I am. Get your ass over here. Get over here.
Come on.
Get
Come
over
on.
here.
come on.
Get over here.
The
Come
quicker
on.
you get over
Come
here,
on,
the quicker
come on,
this will
take
be
my
done.
chair, because
I've already done a podcast today.
You don't have to do anything on this.
take my chair. I'm
We
going
got
to
no
the
pods
men's
here.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
room.
Hey, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Carpenter, the owner of the Rooster.
He's been kind enough to allow us to invade his place today to do this. Michael just started out last year. It's been a dream of his to do a venue like this. He truly supports the local arts and artisans, painters, musicians. He supports the local community like everybody needs to. And he has created a place for us to come in and share what we do with people. If you come in here, you will see the tables we're sitting at tonight were painted by local artists. And the whole place it's an experience. Every time you come in, it's an experience. And he treats you like family, whether it's the first time he's met you or it's the 100th time you've been in his place. It's a great venue. If you're in Gastonia, come by. If you're not in Gastonia, look on his Facebook page, check out the calendar, come out, see a show, because there's always somebody playing here that you'll enjoy or that you may have never heard of. Give them a chance. You may enjoy them. That's what it's all about. Everybody helping each other and supporting one another. And Michael, I appreciate everything, man. It's been an honor.
I appreciate you saying all that, but the truth is, this was a selfish endeavor. I love live music so much. I figured out a way to see it every day. And, you know, I'm half joking. I mean, the truth is, I really do love this scene. I love these people. I love these bands. I love these artists and the fans. I mean, I spent the first 40 years of my life being a fan and finally figured out a way to contribute to a scene. And, you know, you'll never see me up on that stage playing drums. I can tell you that right now. I can't do what you guys do. But
I
you'll
saw
see-
him playing
You
guitar
could
the
always
other
be
day.
tall.
But you'll see me behind the bar enjoying the hell out of just every show that we put on. So honestly, thank you guys for accepting me into the community. And you know, I'm sure there's people that looked at me like, you know, who the fuck is this guy? But the truth is that who I am is a guy that just loves music, and I love it so much. I want to give musicians opportunities, and that's really what we're doing here.
I don't know anybody that looks at you like that, bro. Everybody I know loves the hell out of you. I'm just being honest with you.
Agreed. And
Thanks.
you see how everybody is wanting to be a part of what you've created here.
Well, I appreciate
What,
that.
regardless if it's selfish or not.
Yeah.
Regardless.
It's true. It's true. That's why I just want to be around it. It's just like you guys were saying earlier about family. That's kind of how I feel about this. You know, it's this family. That's what this place was built for. Is for this community and this family and these artists. That's why we do all the different types of things we do. Is because it's not just about music. It's about creatives.
Amen.
And with that right there, we're gonna wrap up this first episode. Chris has got some editing to do, and I'm interested really in seeing what kind of,
This was 2 hours, but
Sound
when we do all that,
effects.
it's gonna be 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm putting the whole thing up.
When we take all the curse words out, it's gonna be like 15 minutes.
exactly.
No, I'm gonna add a few in.
Now, here's what you do. Here's what you do. Get a sound of a rooster calling and just do a rooster call instead of a bleep.
Rooster or cock?
Hey,
Even better, put a picture of a
started
cow.
out by saying you
There you
want
go.
start out by saying, you see my cock, and then show the picture of the rooster.
That's a good idea.
Maybe I'll borrow the idea from Metalocalypse and just have it go woo every time there's a curse word. Or maybe we could just have like some kind of drum fill hit. And just go right over top of it.
Yeah, people won't get tired of that.
Yeah, I won't get tired of that. Just in my
The
head.
other drummers will be like, okay, so is that a quad or a quintuplet?
No,
Was he playing doubles or singles on that? What is that?
So with that right there, we're gonna wrap up this first episode. We're gonna start down here again, reintroduce you to everybody that's been a part of this. Personally, for me, thank you guys for doing this. It's a great start to what Chris and I hope to build and make into something for everybody to want to see and be a part of. And
If you like drums at all, you are a part of it.
Exactly.
Join in.
Cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Clink, clink.
Cheers,
clink,
everybody.
Clink, clink.
Yeah.
once again, we weren't on time.
End scene.